6 o'clock, first meeting now for the October 3rd, 2024, town, Greenberg Council meeting, please. The flag.
States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God. Justice for all.
Thanks, Fred. Almighty ever gracious God, as we're thankful for this day, we just ask, Lord, that you would certainly guide us and direct us in this town meeting tonight as questions are asked, as conversation is put forth, and just continue to watch over each and every one of us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
So I will go for the approval of the minutes from the September 19th meeting.
I'll make that motion for approval of 9/19/2024 meeting minutes.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. All right, Ms. Ratcliffe on Rose Street was on the agenda, but she called and asked to be taken off, so we're going to pass that. Town manager.
A fairly last minute request from one of the Girl Scout troops, local, asking to put a blessing box for pet food up. Where the regular one is that we already have. I said that I didn't think it would be an issue, but just wanted to pass it along to see if anybody objected to that. I thought it was a great idea. So if there's no objections, I'm gonna tell them to go ahead.
Great, great.
Regarding Mrs. Ratliff, we are still looking into things. Lindsay's getting, or has gotten more information from both, Bramble and, I was saying, Roush, yeah, Roush. So we'll keep getting her updates as we get them. Kinman Meadows, Paper Alley, I think we're getting a little bit closer to some sort of a resolution. I provided, Ms. Donna with, resolution 1992 R1 that listed out, the paper alleys that the town, well, basically washed their hands of, legally claimed that, we had nothing, we don't want anything to do with them. And that includes the paper alley between Kinman Meadows and the homes on Bernard. So after talking to Ms. Donna, I will try to facilitate a meeting between the residents and Mr. Baldwin and D.R. Horton. Let's see what we can come up with on that. They have a Verizon pole that is back there in the middle of Hop Street. And Verizon wants Mr. Baldwin to pay over $30,000 to have it moved. We tried to explain to them that they put the Verizon pole in the middle of the streets, and at that point we got told that we could get an attorney, and they hung up on us, so that is still in the works. Working with DVS still to get an updated number of available EDUs, the I&I repairs that were done by Public Works. Hopefully increased the available what we have available. So I'll give you hopefully an update on that again at the next meeting. Lennox will, I'm sure, discuss the schedule and stats for them in the sheriff's department. Our new employee, Julie Porter, I put a little picture in there in case you haven't seen her yet. She's doing a great job with all the water sewer bills and the phone calls and all that good stuff. She's had quite a moment to show her customer service skills, and I've been very impressed with her and she was, very understanding and patient. Planning and zoning, there was a meeting September 17th. Their property at 402 West Sunset wants to subdivide. There's a new build on Wood Duck. I think that has to be the last one. I don't think there's any property left there. There are a couple of properties, that have been talking about annexing into town, so Jamie's going through all that with them and, Lindsay. And rental inspections, with Brandon. And we are looking into changing possibly the, banks so that we eliminate or significantly reduce the fees that we have to pay. And, there's a potential that we would be able to provide the option for residents to pay online. I think if they use a debit card, there would be no fee at all. If they use a credit card, then there would be, but it would give them a better option than what they have right now. I think that's all I have.
Anybody have anything for Tammy?
The debit card usage, is that just with that bank or is it any debit card?
Any,
Town attorney, Ms. Carl.
Okay, earlier today, Lindsay sent around to mayor and council, a road use maintenance agreement for the entrance of the wastewater treatment plant. The county is, developing, the North County Park area, which is near the entrance of the wastewater treatment plant. So basically, this is a draft agreement. We're still in the negotiation stage and we're filling out some of the details. A couple of the main things that still need to be filled in, we need some information from Brandon and company related to exactly what the actual like maintenance of that area is, so we can fill in those details to make sure that the county and the town are doing their fair share based on the expected use of that road. And then there's some other details that need to be filled in about the specific area of the road in question, and that's on the county's end, and that will easily be taken care of by them supplying a plat to go along with the maintenance agreement. But, so we're still in kind of the preliminary stages. You can feel free to discuss it, or we can wait until we have some of those details filled in.
I know at one time, Brandon, when we talked about this initially some time ago, we talked about them giving these, let's say, parcel of land back there in case there's ever any expansion for like a old building or some like a public works building or something you need to go out there. Have we ever engaged in that, anything with them? And do we still have a need for that if they can apply to do it? Remember we talked about coming down the road, go straight.
last conversation that we had about that was, pretty much a no-go because they received that through federal grants. So it wasn't an option.
With my understanding, they just wanted water and road.
Pardon, for that stuff, yeah. Are we talking about two different things?
Yeah, he was talking about maybe negotiating and getting a building and some land.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
time.
I mean, I know we just got this today and looking at it, and I've talked to Brandon about it briefly, but I just don't want us to incur any additional cost because of that road. We're perfectly satisfied and happy with the road that we have. So granting them access is only gonna benefit them. Now, certainly it's gonna benefit, the citizens by being able to get to the park. But, as we learned with the water and sewer plant, we want to make sure that there aren't any hidden costs. They come up down the road 5, 10 years down the road, and we say, oh, now we've got stuff for that. So you just need to be very careful.
That is not going to be the entrance for citizens to go to that park.
Yes.
That is.
They're not gonna do a separate one.
No,
They're gonna put a restroom down. and
There's gonna be a
have it-
rest, and then there's gonna be another entrance further down,
I
But
think it's
that
coming like Christian Park area.
So
somewhere.
basically,
but that will be the main entrance.
when you come in, the road right now is 16 feet wide, they want to make it 22 feet wide. And share that main entrance, and then basically we turn off, go
There's
to,
little,
and then they'll go to the left
I think there was talks about them providing a date or something for
for there.
where the split
Yeah.
happens.
Right, keep people out.
Yeah, but ultimately, because we just got it today, that there's some measuring that I want to do. I mean, a lot of the maintenance, I mean, like the snow removal, we already do on that street or that road, and, the culvert, there's no trees or nothing else, there's really no culvert repairs that we had to do. And cutting the grass down alongside there, I mean, it's still gonna be, we'll still cut what's left on our property, so.
Is that, it's not named there, I think. So would it be beneficial for us to consider naming it? So that when people do come to the park or whatever, at least we could have a sign out there that talks about the name of the road. And it may help in emergency situations if somebody needs an ambulance or something out there, they'd have a 911 address. Just a thought.
We talked about naming that out there like a year ago, nobody,
I'd like the parking.
You had to give it a stay out of there.
yeah.
There.
To give it a name? Anyway. I just think there ought to be, I don't know how you feel about naming, it just seems to me like it ought to have a name to just devote to the sewer plant. And I don't want us to incur any cost down the road is what I'm thinking about. Did he give you a timeline when you needed?
Not that I'm aware of. But I can circle back with Lindsay and make sure that if there is any sort of timeline that she communicates that with,
We'll just stay in contact with Brandon and Tammy and communication.
And keep them, it was already discussed with them, as far as work being done for the expansion of the old school, but they have to be coming to, our events and fire departments and stuff like that when they're doing work.
yes, I know that that's been part of the ongoing discussions, but we'll make sure that that stays in the forefront.
Might want to make sure that too, if they got any heavy equipment going in there, that they're repairing the road and not us.
Well, ultimately, I'll most likely I'll take pictures as we go along the way, because that was the other thing, depending on heavy equipment, we'll kind of, I mean.
Right.
It's only concrete culvert, so it's not, blacktop's not that.
Any questions for Carl? Is that it, Carl?
That's it for me.
Keith Carl?
If anybody would like a copy of the stats, I mean, extra copy. I have our stats and I have the county stats for the month of September that they filled in for our department. So I've got that up here. They actually didn't handle too many calls for service. They did a bunch of traffic stops in the 16 days that they were here in September. They handled a trespassing, lost property, disorderly person, and several other miscellaneous things. For my stats, well, it's only me, so mine are based on one person, just so you know. A fairly busy month, but nothing too crazy. We had 5 second-degree assaults, a fraud, a couple thefts. One of the theft was at Family Dollar. A couple gentlemen from the recovery house went in and stole some items. Were able to identify them on their surveillance footage. Went to the recovery house to make contact. The manager did not want to press any charges, so that case was closed on its face. Had a bunch of property checks, welfare checks. And we did have an arrest, pulled over car and a guy, a warrant through Natural Resource Police. So he was taken to the commissioner and he was later released. I'm sure you guys saw on the first of the month, there was a bunch of police activity on Church Street. Anybody hear that? And was like, oh my gosh, there's like 5 police cars. Apparently there's a call for a dog bite and some people trying to fight. The sheriff's office and the state police actually responded. There wasn't a dog bite or a fight. Yes, a dog got loose, ran into the neighbor's yard, and then when they tried to gather the dog, it became aggressive. but there were no injuries and there was not a fight. But if you saw all those police cars racing through the town, it came out as a fight and possibly, two dog bites. We had, an assault between a landlord and tenant in the 400 block of West Somerset. They're both referred to the commissioner. For that, today, we're riding around and saw a dog in the middle of the road, on the corner of Caroline and North Main Street. Had a dog tag, they called animal control. They took custody of the dog, and the dog was actually reunited with, its owner. There's a little keyhole thing. The schedule, the sheriff's office is covering all but 3 days this month. So they're still continuing in the coverage to help our department, so that's very good. We're very happy that officers are signing up for overtime and watching over the town while I'm off duty. The speed camera contract was emailed to the speed company, so they will be starting that process here in very near future. I believe they said once the contract was signed, it's like a 60 to 90-day turnaround for it to actually up and running, but that is in the works. I conducted a traffic assignment at Wood Duck and North Academy. 3 violations that day, for stop sign violations. I got a Facebook message from a citizen on 313, who complained about the speeders there as well. I went out there one evening, and had several violations in the 30-mile-per-hour zone. And other than that, that's all I got.
All right, thank you.
I have a question. When speed cameras go up, will there be a warning sign, warning citizen like they do with a new traffic light?
So when the cameras go up, there's a 30-day grace period. We will have to advertise that, and post it. There'll be signs, that say, but there's a 30-day grace period before, it will start issuing citations.
10 minutes for those that weren't here on this one. This is the call they would normally cover anyway.
Yes,
And this is the one they did for.
yes. So if any citizen would like a copy of this, to your record, there's no names on here, so I'll leave it up at the podium, or you can come see me after. I'll be happy to, furnish you guys with that.
Holy word, Grant.
Pretty much. Been on regular maintenance, so the rental inspections with Jamie. Rainy days. Did get some vehicle and equipment maintenance done. We had a couple of issues with the pumps on Mill Street, a lot of wipes. Got that squared away. Fixed that pole out in front of Tenchies. This time we cemented it in the ground, so hopefully whoever hits it next time, they'll know that that pole is theirs. And I'm in the second, well, now it's in the 3rd week of leadership course. It's 12-week program, so I'll finish that sometime in December. We did water shutoffs. There was 31 of them total. As of 5 o'clock today, there's still 22 of them that are disconnected. And then we fixed them out there in front of Granby Street. When they're concerned about big holes out front, put 5 tons of hot mix out there, equivalent to about $600 in order to do that. All in brick rating has been emptying out the remaining 3 bids that they're able to drive. They were able to drive over the summer, so we'll be back to it. We'll get the rest of them done next week or so.
That it?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Anybody have questions, for Brandon?
I have a question. Brandon, what's the status of Delmarva Power and replacing dim and out streetlights?
So basically, either you can report it, but to be honest with you, when I go, I usually do it and I put it on there as per the town of Greensboro.
Yeah,
And,
well, I know you were keeping like a running tally
Yeah,
and I
so-
let you know about one.
yeah, and so basically, once they're reported, usually they come out within a couple of days. I think the last one that it was on Mill Street and we got a message like 3 days later that it was done.
Okay,
So,
because I don't think that one's been replaced already from that
on,
Maple.
okay, I usually try
I know.
every couple of
I
weeks.
know, that's why I was
to do a
asking.
Ride around town just to
Yeah.
make sure, because some of them have been replaced to LEDs and they, once a year around May, they do 20 streetlights so that way all of them are getting the LEDs. So
Right.
I've sent them a list there. I think there's 45, between 45 to 63. Somewhere in that number that's left in the entire town. And I sent them the entire list because they said that LEDs were hard to come by. And then they were like, wait a minute, we got them in. So if you send us a list that we can get 25 done one year, then we'll do the 25.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Hopefully speed it up and electric hopefully will be cost effective for the town.
Yeah.
So our preference is for the citizens to call the town, report it, so they can keep track of it.
Question too for you, Brandon. The pole at the end of Mill Street on Sunset, where we have the snowflakes for Christmas time, that one's out every year. Has a repair order been put in with Delmarva Power for that pole?
So it was put in with last year with the electrician and Delmarva, and Delmarva said, oh, we'll look at it. And never did hear anything else, so I'll make a note to try to get that done before Christmas. So
Okay.
Yeah, Amanda.
We've been working on getting together everything that we need for the coat drive and collecting volunteers for the bill. We loaded the food pantry today with about 2.5 truckloads of, different food items, including our freezers were near about empty, and now we have 2.5 freezers full of various meat. And, Penny and Brandon helped load all of that, as well as, a citizen stopped by and said he had, used the food pantry services earlier that day, but saw we were unloading and wanted to just come and help, because that's the only way to get back, so that was pretty cool. I've been just sending out code enforcement notices, again, still trying to call people, let them know what's going on, that it is just a notice, it's not a fine, keep that up. And the biggest thing that's been going on these past 2 weeks is the water and sewer billing. And, man, had a lot of jobs in my life, but I have never been talked to the way that citizens talk to us in that office, so, just maybe remain gentle when talking to anybody in that office, because the things that people say to you and wish on your kids is pretty vile. And, we called, in case anybody was curious, I called every single person on the disconnect list on the 25th, followed up with them again on the 30th, before I went with Jocelyn, and then Julie again reached out on between yesterday and, the day before, so Tuesday and Wednesday, to just, hey, you know, this is what's going on, we really need to figure out what we can work with you guys on. We sent out an email that said, hey, this is what's gonna happen, we can't send that email through the system to only the people that it applies to, it sort of has to go to everybody. Unfortunately, it's alarming to people when they get that email, 'cause, you know, you go into panic, like, did I pay, did I not pay? So we fielded a lot of phone calls about that too, which is fine. Please, by all means, call. And it worked. A lot of people were really happy that we got a hold of them, but there's a lot of people that, you know, have changed their phone numbers get disconnected, things like that, so. Please update your phone numbers, and, that's what I want.
Well, I'm sorry that, those of you in the office have to go through that. You know, obviously, it's homeowners' responsibility to pay their bill timely. We're talking about water bills at the end of the second quarter that we're doing, and we're now into the fourth quarter, so. I think that we've done as best as we can to try to be lean and help people out.
We got a question. Sorry.
I have a question too. I know a lot of the churches and like His Hope Ministries and places like that around here will offer assistance to people who don't have it. Are a list of those resources available to people that are struggling?
We cannot provide those resources, we can refer them to social services
Okay.
because they're nonprofit status, so we can't always give out their information. That's why a lot of nonprofits hang up all their stuff around here.
But just to let you know, I'm still getting two exactly identical billings for the water sewer. It doesn't bother me, but it might help if you check your list, maybe clean it up a bit. I don't want to pay one, but, I mean, I do get two, mostly every time in the same day. Don't know why, but lucky one now.
Are they both like via mail, email?
Email.
Okay.
So the 31 shuttle. And most of it is tenant property.
Yes.
So the property owner is getting the bill, but the tenant's getting put up with.
Yeah, and then of course it goes back and forth. You'll have the landlord saying, oh, it's the tenant's fault. Then the tenants are saying, hey, my landlord never gave me the bill. So I basically have to refer them to contact town hall or go up there and get your name put on there. And I mean, ultimately it should be on property owner, but
Well, that's ultimately the property owner's responsibility.
yeah.
But some of the
And
guys
trust
in
me,
their leases. put it
When
in there,
Amanda
they
said
have to pay
that,
the water.
that people, the way that they get talked to, we hear it too on the public works side. I mean, we're just out there doing our job. I mean, we hate to see somebody get cut off, but that's,
Yeah, I don't want anybody to get caught. That's why we call. But the thing with the homeowners versus the tenants is, unless the homeowner says that they can go on that water bill, you just can't put somebody on there to get notified. Like, they have to allow that, and there's a lot of properties under the homeowners that only goes to the homeowner, which is unfortunate, because then the tenant's left in that.
I would say out of that list, probably 90% of them were from.
Which is,
And landlords probably do it because they probably change tenants too often, so
yeah,
they're
for
not
sure.
limiting them, and then tenant leaves and they don't pay the bill, so, you know. Like you said, they should pay it. They know they gotta pay it every quarter, so pay the
Yeah,
bill.
they should pay the town and then we should go after their town.
I'm sure they want their rent every month, don't they? So,
Okay, I'm just curious.
And one thing I want to word, we did have, last couple of days, Suez USG came out here.
Mhm.
And there was a couple meters that either we've replaced or new construction. We had actually got manual reads on them, but they actually updated everything, so. Especially with all the new houses.
My question was about, we were on one today and, a tenant said that the landlord waited until the last minute, so my question was, could you send a bill to the tenant? But I guess, there's already answered that you can't just send a bill, that's the line.
See the tenant?
Anybody here from the fire company?
I'm sorry, no, you cannot unless the landlord says so.
You can't see the tenant.
If the landlord gives us permission to contact the tenant, we can, but we can't just contact the tenant.
Anybody from the fire company? Give me the
All right. Public comment.
information, you're maybe.
Yeah, I just got a question, if there's an update on the parking lot at the end of West Sunset, the one with all the cars for the attorney.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
I just want to put it on the
Brought that
record so
up.
everybody knows.
Yes, Lindsay went to court on Tuesday, I believe, with Jamie, and, that's being abated.
So they went to court and the judge found them guilty. And issued $100 fine, and they have given them 2 weeks to abate the property. So, by the date, set by the court, I don't have it on top of my head.
October 18th.
October 18th, and we can hire somebody to go in there and remove the cars at the property owner's expense.
You got it.
Now, my question is, and it's very aggravating for us, is that they've had how many violations? It's been going on for about a year. And the judge only finds them guilty for one violation and $100. Is that his only option, or is that just what the judge chose?
I think that's within the judge's discretion.
Yeah, because I'm.
That's not the first time
I'm
they've
also
done that.
confused, because that doesn't cover any of public, it doesn't cover any code enforcement, it doesn't cover the lawyer fees, it doesn't cover any
What if we
court
just take the
costs.
cars and we take them, we just go have them personal, turn them into scrap?
Because I don't think that when we have a move, it's not our property.
I know, so we just have to store them, and he has to pay the store.
So let me ask you this then, for consideration, maybe. If it's a repeat offender, could we put into an ordinance or something, let's just say arbitrarily it's $100 fine. And once they reach, let's just say arbitrarily their fifth or sixth fine, consecutive. Could we then make the fine automatically become $500, $1,500, $1,000, you know, so it goes there. So then when it goes to court, the judge can only charge them what the minimum is, which is $1,000. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can look into that option. I know that there are some restrictions on the types of fines and penalties, but that doesn't sound unreasonable, so we can look into like what the options are.
I'm confused if that's okay, because if that's okay, why would it be okay to charge them $100? What's the difference there?
That is, I think.
Well, the difference is that if it's $100 fine each time,
Right?
the judge sees it and there's a $1,200 fine for 12 violations. He's only finding them guilty of one and charging them $100. If we make it in the resolution that, let's just say on your sixth violation consecutive, instead of, then it automatically goes to $1,000 minimum. So now they owe us $1,000. We're gonna, on that sixth time, we're gonna charge you $1,000. And then the
Well,
judge,
So I think he means after a certain number of guilty findings, so not necessarily just like the.
So
daily
after we go to court.
He's giving the judge a bigger window of how much money will involve.
You could do it
It's
your
still
way too.
6 violations.
I get that.
Hear me, Amanda, you could do it your way too.
Yeah, so.
When
And
I
at
saw
that,
$100,
if
I
that's,
thought
if
$100
basically, okay, so if we have 5 violations, it's $100 each time, and then on the 6 violations, give me a minute, it's $1,000, okay? The judge can still go, I'm gonna find you of 1 violation, it's the $100 one.
Yep.
It just
well, the
feels
judge
like,
can do anything he wants.
it just feels like changing all of that.
But can the town adopt an ordinance to where if you're accumulating all these fines, say you charge them $100 a day, you're ultimately gonna go to the county and you're gonna put a lien against that property. So they can't sell it, they can't do nothing with it, everything would have to be paid back to the town before he sells the property, vacates the property, a landlord, anything. So if that's in the town charter, it's in the code enforcement, you charge $100 a day per car, or whatever it is, and enforcing it, you actually put a lien against that property.
There are provisions where we can request a lien from the court, but this kind of goes back to the penalty is within the
Because I feel like
court's
it's
discretion.
already part of our codes. It's
We
already
can
part
put,
of it.
we can put judgment.
Yeah.
I would just see what you can do. I mean,
Yeah.
it just seems.
We'll see if
so-
we can make it more strict.
It just seems totally unfair that somebody gets a violation, $100 fine, and they come in and pay it.
Yeah,
This person goes on for a year, still only gets, has to pay $100.
of course, I.
It's like the place we go on twice for people that were reporting
Yeah,
and
but-
Public Works and.
But that's the judge saying pay $100, he would still, the owner would still owe money to the town.
No, when the judge makes his ruling, it goes to what the judge says, not what the town says.
Yeah,
Okay.
the judge override, of the town.
And they unfortunately, they have a lot of latitude. So,
Okay.
all right, just take a look and just give us some thought, and see what you can come back with, and if that's the way it is, then I guess that's what it is.
My second
Doesn't seem
question.
fair.
My second question is about if there's any update on I know you guys can't say it, the illegal house. Right
No,
on
that's
Main
out of our
Street.
hands now,
So who's in charge of it now?
not to be discussed.
We're not allowed to discuss it.
Top secret, okay. All right, that's all my questions.
Just trust that it's being handled, but we're not allowed at liberty to discuss it. You can be able to figure
It's
it out.
above our level.
I got you.
Kim Ernst, maybe.
Oh, I think I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. And Mr. Schaffner, maybe.
Thank you for the sheet. It's a great start. I like it. It's a great start. I think we should look at it as a finished product, but this is a dynamite start. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Great. Anybody else that did not sign up? Okay, thank you. Council remarks.
Yeah, question. So we already took care of, at the last meeting, Mr. Friday, the tax committee, she's been removed from the agenda. We also had a question on the cost it was for all the additional stuff that Mr. Mason and all the people asked requested, what cost it, the legal fees and stuff, do we have those numbers? Can we have those numbers at the next meeting? And then the traffic light at Tiger Mart is supposed to be adjusted to where one side would be green, and the other side, all the rest would be red, or all that.
We haven't heard anything from them. I think the guy that when I talked to, he wouldn't allow me to hold him to it, but he said October, November, although I think they're getting ready to start there in Old City. Cause I see they put up covered signs, so I think that's getting ready to start, so we might be next in the pipeline after that. But I don't know, we can.
I'll send a follow-up email because I had asked when I asked them to come and actually take care of cleaning the roads, but nobody responded to that portion of the email, so I'll follow up.
Last day of anybody. Sign up for.
Well, I don't know, if anybody signed up.
I-
think there's a date.
The eighth,
Tuesday the 8th,
Tuesday, the 8th.
but you have to meet to get the debrief.
6 o'clock.
I can do it.
Well, you're gonna supply the information to take with us, correct?
Yes, Lindsay will meet with,
Can you go?
I cannot, I am in trial in Baltimore all week next week. I know. So Lindsay has a conflict as well, so we were hoping to council member to go. She has all the information, and she'll be available either tomorrow or, I'm also in court tomorrow, so I can't meet tomorrow. Lindsay can meet tomorrow or next week.
As a leader for residents, how did you come up with October 8th if none of our?
I can
It
go.
was Goldsboro, and we agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just requesting. but it's-
I'm gonna go with him, but you're gonna go.
Questions, so they're-
Oh, okay. No, it won't send somebody.
I just assumed that we just wanted to.
So,
Question.
yes,
So we can.
No, go ahead, let him finish.
We, us two.
Great, so I'll set you guys up with Lindsay and you guys
We're
will have.
talking about Tuesday the 8th, correct?
Yep, Tuesday the 8th, the Goldsboro meeting,
6 o'clock at their firehouse, is that what you mean?
I believe so. We'll double check that, and then Lindsay will get you the information that you'll need if you guys can circle up.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Pete?
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off what Pete said real quick. So somebody requested, you know, the hours and stuff and the fees of the attorney and all the time the town supposedly wasted talking to me and everything. Make sure we include the flip side of that, all the times I've helped the town, the 35 emails, the 100 text messages, the hour phone conversation with Lindsay, all that stuff. And if you guys need, evidence of that, I'll be more than happy to print that out, all the email chains, text messages, and talking to town council members, you know, town members, town hall members. So make sure we get an equal footing on that.
I think you should.
I think so too.
Document it.
I already have it documented.
Hold
I
on,
got it all printed out.
hold on. He was responding to me and let me answer the question. I didn't ask for anything about your negative. I asked what it costs total.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't care if it's the good or the bad.
No,
I
I
just
get it.
want to know how much it's costing.
that's
Because
right.
we spent months in here arguing over how to balance a budget and minimize expenses. And between wasting town hours, town staff, lawyer fees and everything else, I'm just trying to figure out what's blowing our budget here. So I would really be curious as to what that number is. And it was asked by a citizen at the last meeting, and I think
Absolutely.
we should find out.
I agree.
All right, so I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second, all in favor? That's-
Hey.
Yeah, but it was in the morning.